hate it. Good morning. Today I woke up with the absolutely groundbreaking idea that what better way to start off my day than completely embarrassing myself. So I have a few stories. I'm gonna start off with going from old to new, because I kind of have to warm up to the newest one, because it still kind of stings a little. It still has a little bit of the in it, because it still kind of hurts. You know, like when you do something just really embarrassing and it just kind of hurts. That's how it still is at that point. So this first story takes place back in I have to say 7th grade. So this was a while ago. I had my first real boyfriend, okay? Like, we weren't allowed to hang out ever unless it was school functions or church functions. But you know, we were still boyfriend and girlfriend. So like all young relationships do, we eventually broke up, and the first thing I thought to do was post about it on social media. And back then, Instagram was the shiz, okay? I posted my entire life on there. Okay, let me backtrack. We had these matching little, they kind of look like this, beaded bracelets that we won at Rule 3 or something. And I had the bright idea to go to the cafeteria bathroom at school, flush them down the toilet, take a picture of it, and post it on Instagram to let everyone know that we were broken up. It didn't go well. Anyways, that's not even that's not even the good part. So after we broke up, there was this one night where I was having a sleepover with 2 of my friends, and my ex-boyfriend was texting me, and he was really upset. He kept telling me that he was gonna kill himself and all this stuff, he didn't want to live anymore, and he sounded really serious, and I'm not one to take stuff like that lightly because I've been through that kind of stuff before, even at that age. It was 2 a.m. I told my mom about this, and she said, we're gonna go check on him, basically. So me and my 2 friends and my mom all hopped in the car and started driving to his house. We just thought we were gonna go knock on the door, because he just abruptly stopped texting me back. So we thought we were gonna just go pound on his door, wake somebody up, make sure he's okay, whatever. That's not how it went down. Basically what happened was we started driving out of the neighborhood, and a cop was at the end of my neighborhood for whatever reason, and they stopped us, and they were like, where are you going? And we were like, oh my god, her ex-boyfriend is saying he's gonna commit suicide, we were gonna go check on him. And he said, no, we got this, go on home. We were just like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but they said I got this. We drove home, and apparently 3 cops pound down their door and run in his room with flashlights to find him just sleeping in his bed. And I'm no longer allowed to talk to him to this day. It's been 6 years, still not allowed to talk to him. Moving on. This second story takes place my senior year of high school. So last year, I actually graduated a semester early, so this took place the first semester of my senior year. From 8th grade to my senior year, I was a part of the wrestling team as a wrestling stat. And basically what that entailed was that me and a few of my friends, we would go to every wrestling meet and every wrestling tournament and basically just take the stats of the matches. So on the way home from this one match, we had this assistant coach, we'll call him Coach Bob. On the way home, we were all packed in this little van that the school rented out to us or whatever, and I could see him in the like passenger seat on Instagram, and he was talking about it, and I saw his username. So my friends and I were like, you should add him, like, bet you won't. And I was like, bet I do. I added him on Instagram in the car, and this one still kind of hurts. So I added him, and he goes, who the f is Casey? And I was like, me. He's like, you know what, sorry, I only add my wrestling boys, so I'm gonna have to hit decline. All of my girlfriends in the car and all of the wrestlers, like, there's like 4 wrestlers in the back seat, we were all just dead silent, just kind of like, that one still kind of gives me a little bit of, So going along with that same Coach Bob, further down the line, every single year we went to this tournament that's about 3 hours away after Christmas, and we stay there for, it's a 3-day long tournament. When we first got there, we all went into our hotel and unpacked everything, and my girlfriend and I went downstairs because us and the boys, like the whole team, we were gonna go get a late dinner. We were about to walk out of the hotel to get in the vans, and Coach Bob pulls out his phone to take a selfie with my girlfriend and I. And for whatever reason, my first reaction was to flip off the camera. Moving on. This one's a little more recent. This one's from this past, like, winter, I guess. I was working at a cafe inside of Barnes & Noble, and we didn't have a lot of people working there, so I usually closed the store, not the bookstore, but the cafe by myself. And it was late at night, and like we were about to close, and this lady and her daughter came in to get coffee. I was making their coffee, and she was kind of talking to me because there was no one really around, so we were just having a conversation. And she was telling me how she was actually like from this other state, and she was on her way to like this other state. She has to drive through the night. That's why she's stopping to get caffeine right now. She was telling me about where she's going, and I was like, oh, how fun. Like, that's gonna be a fun trip. Blah, 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 blah. And she looked me dead in the face, and she goes,
I'm going to my father's funeral.
And I just looked at her like, sorry, not fun, not fun, not fun at all. She kind of just walked away, and that one still kind of makes me cringe a little bit. It just kind of hits me in the, Okay, so this one happened when I was in 8th grade. I was kind of invited to this Halloween party. The like 2 people like hosting the party didn't really like me that much, but one of their best friends was like best friends with me, so I was like invited by her, I guess, and I was going with her and one of my other friends. Being the little, thinking I was sweet teenager, little junior high girl, I was a bunny. And basically what I wore was these black tights, a black leotard, a little like bunny tail, like strap-on bunny tail kind of thing, and bunny ears. That was my costume. I didn't even bother to draw like whiskers or anything on my face. Like I just wanted to look hot. I don't know. So we were there for a while, and people like started talking about me. Like I could hear people saying my name, and people were talking about me, and it got back to me that apparently you could see my butt. I don't think this is true, because I was wearing black leggings with a black leotard that covered like my whole butt, and even if I didn't, my tights were black. So I think it was just the like 2 hosts didn't like me. I think they just wanted me to leave. The word got around the whole entire, this was a big party for junior high, like it was a lot of people, but word got around the whole entire party that you could see my butt, and S's parents, S is one of the hosts, S's parents wanted me to leave, Apparently she had tattled to her parents that you could see my butt and they wanted me out of there. I kind of was just chilling like, I'm not gonna leave. Like, what do you mean? I was invited to this party. I'm trying to eat more chips and hang out with my friends. S came up to me and said, "You have to leave. My parents want you to leave. I'll walk you out." So I gathered up my 2 friends because I was taking them home. We all walked upstairs while everyone laughed at me, and her parents walked me out of the house. And since I was in junior high, I didn't have a car, so I had to sit on the front step until my parents came and picked me up. I had to explain to them that I got kicked out of the party because you could apparently see my butt. And no one was happy. And people still make fun of me for getting kicked out of that party. Okay, so this last story, this is the one that still kind of, I still think about this one at night. Like, so I go to this one Starbucks that's only a few minutes away from my house quite often, and there's this guy that I went to school with who works there. I used to see him there all the time, like about a year ago. And then he stopped working. Like, I thought he just quit or something because I didn't see him for a few months. This is about like a month ago. I'm in there and I see him and he's taking my order. And he was like, "Hey, Casey, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, where have you been?" And he just looked at me with like a dead expression and said,
"I had cancer."
And my brain just shut down. I'm not good with dealing with that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do, and I'm kind of, oh my god, I'm dissociating trying to tell the story because it's making me so anxious all over again. My heart is pounding. So, so I looked at him and I said, "Oh no, are you gooder now?" I said, "Good." I asked a cancer patient if they are gooder now. And he kind of he looked at me and he goes, "Yeah, your drink will be ready in a minute." And I kind of just walked away and I got my drink, and about a week ago I went back to that Starbucks and went through the drive-thru. He's the one who took my money from me and handed me my drink, and he acted like he didn't know who I was. So I'm guessing that's because of the gooder thing. Honestly, he might be watching this, and if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, and this actually keeps me up at night. Now that I'm talking about it again, I'm probably not going to be able to sleep. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I didn't, and I'm anxious now, and I kind of can't breathe, and I'm low-key having an anxiety attack on the inside. So I'm gonna end this. I have plenty more embarrassing stories throughout my life. Like, these are just a couple of the ones that came to my mind first, but don't you worry, I have plenty. I can do a whole nother, I can make this into a series. So if you want to hear more embarrassing stories so you can laugh at me for the rest of your life, thumbs this up, make sure you hit subscribe, and hopefully I won't look disgusting in the next video. Thank you.